Hi there, everyone. We need to do a sound check. Hi, Yvonne and Francine and Richard and Donald and Stefan and Tim, and there are many more. So could one of you wonderful people let me know if you can hear me? Testing, testing, testing. I await your... Hi, Nikki. Welcome. Everybody can hear me? Jolly good. Thank you, Francine. Hi, Jenny. Good. Sounds on. Thank you, Tim. Well, thank you, Yvonne. Over the past few weeks, we've been talking about different foundational aspects and qualities of creativity. And tonight I want to talk about a very, very important one. And that is silence. We live in such a busy world and it's just full of sounds, but there is a silence. Thank you, Lucy. There is a silence that sounds, that's in between the notes of the sound, whatever sound it might be. Hi, Francine. Thank you for being here. Hi, Julianne. Nice to see you. So I want to talk about that space where creativity is found. And most of the sounds that we hear that rule our lives are very on the surface. And the sound of creativity actually is deeper. And that sound of creativity has a lot to do with bringing in your soul purpose into the art of living and into the art of who you are and the art of what you might create. Now, you know, I've been doing these playing with color workshops. And if Jenny doesn't mind, I want to show you what she created. And what it was and what it is an experience of tuning in slowly to the inner aspect of the stillness that lies within each one of us. And if you have stress or any of those things, then it's very important to be able to have a place of stillness. Oh, yes, Jenny. It's important because it's just really special. Really special. And I want to show people what you experienced. And what I experienced being with you while you were going into the different phases. So, are you ready? Here we go. Just make sure I get the right place. Okay. Here we are. Hi, Cannon. We're talking about the silence within creativity. These are Jenny's experiences. The first one was her tuning in to the inner aspect of the night, which actually symbolically represents the feminine principle that's the bridge to the silence of creativity. Hi, Lillian. So she was only allowed to use black and blues. And it was an interesting experience. The next one is dawn, where the light starts to appear. And all the while, you're working with those minds, chatter, chatter, can I, what do I do? Jenny can explain that more of what she went through. And then this one is day. So each one, you are allowed a certain amount of colors. In the second one, she had to still use black and blues, but she was allowed to use white and yellow and orange. And for me, it's like a dawning, like an egg starting to appear. And in the day, she had to stop using black and could use all the colors. And this is what came through. No, it's not a fried egg, Jenny. It's an egg that's being born. And in any case, it's almost like a womb in a way, that it's coming out of the darkness, the light's coming out, and then it has the freedom, and there's a garden. And Jenny shared with me that by the third experience, her mind started to be able to just allow a feeling, an intuitive expression of what colors that she should bring. Because what most of us tend to do, and in a lot of my other classes with my other students, the temptation is to make an object. And you don't need to do that. I want you to feel it, to go into that place that when you close your eyes, it's dark, but it's not to be feared. And if you are aware consciously of what that space is, what your intent is to be, eventually you will be able to do it without the mind trying to interject something. I'm just looking some messages. But Jenny, you didn't think it was an egg when you were making it, did you? It was just an experience of what the light of dawn might appear slowly. And you were not assigning it to a horizon. And I quite liked the symbol of what you created instead. And if you go from one to the other, you see how the light of the sun of the day is starting to become visible. So if you know what it was in your head, do you think you did it? I have to be honest with you that when Cecil, did this with Cecil, you didn't have 3 pieces of paper. You didn't have 3 pieces of art that you could look at and remember the process. We had to do dawn on top of the night. And then once that dried, you had to do day on top of the dawn. You should have told me. I would have given you some glitter if you saw it sparkly. But that's good. That's good. So it's the deeper experience of painting one on top of the other means that you are being put into a deeper training or test, I should say. Challenge, that's a good word. Of what letting go and tuning in is about. But I feel like in Jenny's case, in my other students that have come to me, that it was enough to be able to do this particular part of the process. And when Jenny comes back, I have some other things that she can go through. Yeah. So, what I want to come back to is, right, is me. Oh, Jenny, you could probably do this again at home. Richard, I know what you're painting is very glittery at times. I love it. And the color healer that I studied with for a long time until she passed over, Lily Cornford, she was quite an intuitive healer. And she said that new colors are coming that are much more glittery. So we're all really waiting for that. She was very sparkly, I have to say, even at 85. So a few years ago, and for many years, every year, there's a charity called Willow Charity, and they have an initiative called Stars on Canvas to raise money for people that are not very well. And what they did was if you said yes, they'd send you a little tiny canvas. And it was our job to paint it and then send it back, and they would auction it in November normally. But I want to look at Jenny's messages. She says, I've been thinking that Ginger, it was supposed to be more of a bursting through of light. I love glitter so much. Put some on, Francine. You can do that because it's a growing process. Give it a go and then send me the pictures. So what I want to share with you now is some of I call them little treasures, that I have made from that point of silence, of the stillness. We've often talked about how the highest creativity is coming from the spirit soul realms across the high feminine principle bridge into form, and it's the higher masculine principle that makes things visible on this earth plane. And the thing is about light, Stephen, is that it's the basic creative principle in all things. But it's through silence and stillness that you allow it to come in, that you feel it. And there's so much sound around. There's on the superficial level and also within the sound of silence. When you start to go deeper into the life experiences which light guides you, and so is sound, there are many different levels of it. And there's if you really go quiet, and it isn't that you can be quiet while you're singing or while you're talking. It's a place of stillness, that your main identification comes from that place, your creative aspect of your soul into matter. So if you were to do an exercise of have something that you want to talk about, and you know how much you're going to be talking about that, if you could reduce it into half and then see what happens. Because what should happen is that you become more conscious, you're paying more attention, and you come out of this compulsive need to express chatter, 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 chatter. And today when we do our meditation, I'd love us to go quiet and not text it at that moment. and go deeper into the silence, so that something wonderful will appear. And usually it's joy and who you really are at peace and goodness. But before we do that, I want to show you my little treasures that I did for Stars on Canvas. And I will get that up soon. I hope I will get that up. Yes, here we come. And all of these this is called Spiritual Sun. This is Precious Heart. And I did a series in these little frames. That's one of the flowers I sent to them one year. And they're all oil, well, that's an oil painting. This is resin, playing around with different levels of resin within the frame. This one, I sprayed the canvas with water. Jenny knows about spraying the canvas with water. Meditated, and then actually threw colors on, dabbled them on, sprayed some more, moved them around. And this one is a resin playing with colors, and it starts to move the colors. I did several of them, but I couldn't find them today. I don't know where they are. But I at least found one of my little treasures. And I found that one last night. I don't know where it had disappeared. So Richard says that glitter in any format is very difficult to capture. Very true. So is gold. Especially if you're photographing it, especially if you're going to print it. And thank you, Jenny. I love this little tiny precious treasure. I should probably post that tomorrow so that you can see a closer vision of it. And this one I love too. There was a Chinese or Japanese artist I saw that paints layers of resin, and between each layer he captures a part of a goldfish that's in water, and by the end the goldfish is in 3D. So I was experimenting in my own way to do that. Lucy, the pink and orange one, is called Heart to Heart, because before each painting I do a meditation, and I go to that silent space and allow the energies to be born from there. It's quite an experience. And it's like I never know what's going to be born, and that's what my play with color was, to encourage people to have the daring to let go of the mind that needs to make something, and just let the colors come through you. And then sometimes, for me, a form might come, or a whole painting might come, but the whole experience is always coming with me being in that space of stillness, of silence, of the space between the lines, so to speak. So it's nearly time to meditate. Is there anything else anybody wants to say or ask me before we go into the silence? Julianne says that, speaking of gold, I'm especially, do you mean fond of my works with gold in cobalt. They put me in an art meditation. It's one of my favorite things, I have to say. I love those colors. You know, the whole thing about silence, it isn't that you have to do something to touch the silent aspect of life, where all creativity and goodness, and it's the bridge, exists. It's like, it's more, instead of a doing, it's more like a becoming. But sometimes at first you have to practice. You have to have a practice, you know, either a mantra or some sort of meditation or a song or just sitting. And eventually it starts to become, as opposed to a doing. It took me years. I remember, hi Vera, it took me years to just sitting there for 15 minutes. And my Sufi teacher, Irina Tweedy, said, just visualize strawberry and cream if that's the thing that can hold your attention. Because, you know, it's like your mind wants to move around, your body wants to move around, you don't want to sit still. And then one time, yes, Richard, all the sculptures are so sorted. I'm so grateful for your helping. I'd love you to come again when the need arises. Thank you very much. And one time, David and I went to Sri Lanka. And I was just starting to become a vegetarian, and sorry to interrupt. Hi Denise, blessings. She said she's late because she went to collect Tigger's ashes from the vet. Her boy is back home. I remember that experience with our lady dog. And as I've said before, I am so grateful that I was there, because the experience of the pain lifting from her, and she leans against me with such tender love, and she looked like a young dog again. And it's I'm really grateful I have that as a memory. And yeah. But coming back to our trip to Sri Lanka, I was starting to meditate, and when we got to Anuradhapura, where the rib of the Buddha is supposed to be there, I got on the bike, because you could rent bikes, and I went off, and there was a temple where you go and you meditate under the Bodhi tree. And I was in the corner, loads of women predominantly, and men, all meditating. And I got in the corner, and up to that point I could probably only just sit there, even with my eyes closed, for about 10 minutes. And the next thing you know, I don't know how, maybe it was a half an hour, maybe it was 45 minutes, it was a long time. I came round, and I was surrounded by all these Indian women, smiling, congratulating me in their own way, that here I am, a Caucasian blonde woman who meditated. And I collected a few Bodhi tree leaves, and brought them home as presents. And Denise, we are all wishing for the best for you. Actually, I don't see Verpi. Verpi's not here yet. I hope she's okay. Yes, Julie, it was quite an experience. And I had a little sort of, what was it, little postcards and a candle that in every hotel room I would put them on the desk, and, you know, I would meditate, well, usually when Dave was asleep. And all the cleaners and everything, they're all, you know, bending over to me, thanking me, honoring me that I was meditating. But it was quite a trip. We went through, what was amazing is how happy everyone seemed. Most of them were living in dirt huts. And they'd be at the door and they'd be smiling, very slender, but smiling. And our taxi drivers, hi Patricia, welcome. Our taxi drivers were very nice people. Julie, we went to Sri Lanka when 6 months after Sarah was born. So she was born 1981, I believe, or 82. And we stayed there for probably 3 weeks. And the thing that's interesting, when I got back, I was telling everyone how calm and peaceful and beautiful everything was. And there's a chapter in my book where I describe our journey. And it turns out there was war going on at the same time with the, what's it called? Oh dear, I've just pulled a blank. The Tamils. They were fighting in places, but we didn't see it. And anyway, it is time to do our meditation. Yeah, Richard, I think that might be the thing. She can watch the replay. Holidays, I call them holy days, are really important to uplift our spirits so that when we come home, we have that place, we've touched that place of beautiful silence of life and calm down. So if you all are okay with it, can we go into silence and withhold messaging if possible, and we can begin. The other thing that I want to let you know is that I'm starting to put these meditation onto my YouTube. Which blues festival are you going to, Richard? Sorry, we've got to get this in before we meditate. Is it in England? Okay. Right. I'm going to put up the new image and I will repost this live. And I will also be separating the meditation out, and I'm building up the meditations as a separate thing that you can tune into anytime on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked in, do that. And before I do this, I want to thank Donald for his donation. Every little bit helps, and thank you for honoring the time that we share together. It means a lot to me. So people, wonderful people, let's from this point onwards be seeking to touch stillness within. Please find a calm place to sit or to lie. And be still. And if you're sitting, place your hands on your thighs with your palms up. And just be in a position where your spine is erect, if possible, and your head just slightly tilted upwards. If you're lying down, I would recommend placing your hands over each other over your heart. And initially, let's focus on this flower, the white of the flower and all its petals. And breathe in the color, the feeling of the flower. Perhaps you might hear the song of the flower and the stillness of its beauty. So breathe in, hold the color, and release. Breathe in, hold the color, and release. Breathe in, hold the color, and release. From that point of your breath, feel the softness. Imagine its fragrance. And hear the song of its beauty touching your heart. Be still. Now take the image of the flower, the color, the white, into your head with your eyes closed. Allow it to fill your area where your brain lies. Take the white and feel its tenderness resting on your eyelids, on your nose, on your jaw, your mouth, your ears, even your hair. And feel the union of its vibration joining yours, bringing peace and stillness. Now allow the white and the flower to progress down your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your wrists, your fingers, and allow the radiance of the light of the white to flow out of your fingers and return it back up your arms to your shoulders, to your lungs, to your heart, to your spleen and your liver and gallbladder, your reproductive organs, and most of all down your spine. Take the white vertebrae by vertebrae slowly, relaxing your nervous system in the stillness. And take the breath in and the color in the flower, and just look around your body. And are there any blockages or hurts any sad emotions, anger, allow it to melt that away as you travel down your hips, down your intestines, clearing, purifying, into your thighs, your knees, your calf muscles, your ankles, your feet, and take all of that you don't need anymore and give it to Mother Earth. She is happy to receive it. She has such a power to transform, and she wants us all to be the best, calm, wonderful, creative, kind, wise people. And say thank you for caring. And I love you, Mother Earth. I love you. And breathe in her love. Hold on, feel it, and allow it to travel back up, softening, loving your legs and your organs, your muscles and your nervous system and your blood even, most of all your spine. Take it up through your arms, your fingers, your shoulders, your neck, back into your head again, and out the top of your head into the cosmos, where you'll touch the sound of silence, the sound of beauty, the sound of love. Feel it and bring it back down to your heart. And allow it to join with the love from Mother Earth and the light from above. And hold it in your heart. And place your hands over your heart. And say thank you. And now is the time that you can ask or give forgiveness to someone you might have hurt, or they might have hurt you, and say the following: I forgive you. You forgive me. And I forgive myself. Allow peace, love, and harmony to be. I forgive you. You forgive me. I forgive myself. Allow peace, love, and harmony to be. I forgive you. You forgive me. I forgive myself. Allow love, peace, and harmony to be. Place all of those feelings and forgiveness and love into your heart center and surround it. Make a crystal that you keep it tenderly there. And remember that is always there. The silence that sounds love and goodness and forgiveness is what runs the world. May you all find peace and be in harmony. And in your own time, slowly, slowly open your eyes and come back to your room. I'm very happy, Jenny, that will be the case. Matthew showed me how to edit these meditations so I can put them up separately on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Francine. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. I can't believe another week went by. So, they're flying by. It was my pleasure, Yvonne. When we were doing the workshops. Good, Donald. When we were doing the workshops, I interject certain music and meditations, visualizations. I know, Francine, a week is nothing. Richard, I'm really happy that you enjoyed that. It's interesting that the more that I focus on these meditations and that intention of being in the silence, coming into sound, so that the sound radiates, reverberates a certain energy, then seems to make me happy. That sounds nice, Jenny. Crystal healing music. So, my fair people, let's go into the silence that sounds amongst the sound of our world and create the sound of peace and the sound of calm. Julie says that she can't get my Sri Lanka trip off her mind. I see it is chapter 42 and you're on 28, but now I feel need to skip to 42 and then go back. Yeah, you can do that. And if anyone doesn't have the book and want it, you can go on my shop. You can order the art lessons, which are the basic fundamental aspects of Cecil's teachings. And you can order a portrait of your lovely animals or of your dear ones. That's all there. I also have up to 30 of the chapters. You can buy them to listen to. I talk, and there's a bit of Matthew's music on it and extra pictures than what's in the book. And you can have them, download them 1 to 5 each time. Well, Richard, if you fell asleep, how did you feel when you came back? I always found if you fall asleep during meditations and things, something deeper was there, a message for you, and you didn't need me to do that. There's something there. Did you have any insight into what you felt when you were asleep? Somehow, I don't think you were totally asleep, but your conscious mind might have been. What, you felt wonderful? That's really good. Oh, gosh. So, I know there's other news I need to tell you. The little book called Red Cap is about to be printed. And I will let you know. I'll show you some photos closer to the time. I'm very excited. I think next week they're going to send out a couple copies to me so that I can proofread it and make sure that everything is good. That's a good sign, Richard. And also there's visitations that I certainly have had from my teachers in my dream world sometimes. David and I were in Hawaii once, and I was seeing Mrs. Tweedy, my Sufi teacher, quite a lot at the time. And she used to say that there were 4 different dreams. There's your normal psychological dreams about your regular life and your worries and things. And then there's higher dreams that talk about visions for humanity. And then there are soul dreams, and the 4th one is when your teacher comes. And that night, in Hawaii, she came to me. It was the first time she really did this, and she was with me all night, talking to me, and it was like, this is amazing. And she said, right, you know everything that you have to know, and you just get on living your life, and you don't have to come back and see me. But of course I didn't remember anything the next morning, but she obviously planted it in my brain. It's quite something. And after 6 months, when we got back, I thought, I'm going to go see her. I'm not sure about this. And she ignored me. And I knew, okay, I'll go and have the courage to live my life and respond to whatever happens. And it never stops. So Donald, what have you said? Even though you have my book, I knew all about her and the complete history about her and Pink Floyd. I have been friends and following Pink Floyd since 1989, including the McGroom sisters and Franco Wright. You've been with us for a long time, that's for sure. And I've done a few portraits of Durga and of Lorelei and even of Dolly Parton that are going to be up on my shop for sale. If anyone wants to have the original or a print, they will be available soon. Well, Julie, hint hint. Let's have a chat, okay? I know Red Cap has really turned out really special, and let's see where it goes. So it's time to say so long. And by the way, Matthew and Luna and his wonderful girlfriend Rika came for the weekend, and that little girl, that little Luna, is a treasure. She's amazing and just creates a bundle of love. Mind you, she is quite the puppy, running all over the place, very excited. But it was a great weekend. And uh-oh, things have frozen. Oh no. Okay, well, it's just in time. So I'm going to say so long, everyone. I don't know what you missed, Richard, but I'll look on the replay. I won't do it till tomorrow, though. Thursday is my day for doing that. So, my special people, take care. Great. I hope that it will be on Amazon, Donald. And be well. Thank you. Bye.